1867 and the date October 28th, a girl was born to Mary Isabel and Samuel Richmond Noble in the town of Dungannon in County Tyrone, Ireland. She was named Margaret Elizabeth Noble for her paternal grandmother. The Nobles were of Scottish descent, settled in Ireland for about 5 centuries. Her father, who was a priest, gave the valuable lesson that service to mankind is the true service to God. When Margaret was 1 year old, Samuel moved to Manchester, England, and there he enrolled as a theological student of the Wesleyan Church. Young Margaret at this time stayed with her maternal grandmother in Hamilton, Northern Ireland, which was one of the first-ranking leaders of the freedom movement of Ireland. This gave her a tremendous sense of love for freedom. When she was 4 years old, she moved to England to live with her father. Right from a tender young age, she had many questions, which she asked her parents many times. What is this world? What is this life? What happens after death? Who is God? Margaret's father, Samuel, contracted tuberculosis, so her father avoided her in fear of transmitting his disease to her, and her mother avoided her, not wanting to discuss the unpleasant topic. Margaret loved her parents dearly, but could not understand as to why she was driven away all the time. Ultimately, her father Samuel died in 1877 when Margaret was only 10 years old. This was a rude shock to her tender heart and mind, and she was at a loss and heartbroken. Margaret studied from church boarding school in London. She and her sister attended Halifax College, run by a member of the Congregationalist Church. She extensively studied various subjects, including physics, art, music, and literature. She embraced teaching at the age of 17. She first worked in Keswick as a teacher of children. Subsequently, she established a school in Wimbledon and followed her own unique methods of teaching. She participated in church-sponsored activities, being religious in nature. She was also a prolific writer and wrote in the paper and periodicals. In this way, she soon became a known name among the intellectuals of London. She was engaged to be married to a Welsh youth, but her fiancé died soon after engagement. This was another hard blow to the young lady. Her quest was catalyzed by these incidents, but the regulated religious life could not give her the required answer and the necessary peace of mind she was seeking. So she began to study various books on religion. In 1895, she was invited by one of her friends, Lady Isabel Markison, to a parlor talk in London. Swami Vivekananda had come from America to visit London and stayed there for 3 months. On a cold afternoon, Swami Vivekananda was explaining Vedanta philosophy in the drawing room of an aristocratic family. Margaret saw there a majestic personage, clad in a saffron gown and wearing a red waistband, sat there on the floor, cross-legged. As the monk spoke to the company, he recited Sanskrit verses in his deep, sonorous voice. Margaret, having already delved deep into the teachings of the East, found nothing quite new in what she heard on this occasion. What was new to her was the personality of Swami Vivekananda. She attended several other of his lectures. She raised a lot of questions and found answers which established her faith and reverence for the speaker. Nivedita wrote in 1904 to a friend about her experience at that time. Suppose he had not come to London that time. Life would have been like a headless dream, for I always knew that I was waiting for something. I always said that a call would come, and it did. But if I had known more of life, I doubt whether, when the time came, I should surely have recognized it. Fortunately, I knew little and was spared that torture. Always I had this burning voice within, but nothing to utter. How often and often I sat down, pen in hand, to speak, and there was no speech. And now there is no end to it. As surely I am fitted to my world, so surely is my world in need of me, waiting, ready. The arrow has found its place in the bow. But if he had not come, if he had meditated on the Himalayan peaks, I, for one, had never been here. She later dedicated herself to educating women in India. Swami Vivekananda wrote to her, "The mother's heart, the hero's will, the sweetness of the southern breeze, the sacred charm and strength that dwell on Aryan altars, flaming, free. All these be yours and many more, no ancient soul could dream before. Be thou to India's future son, the mistress, servant, friend in one."
Thank you.